YouTube! Friday, new bass. This is an Ibanez GIO Soundgear. I couldn't find this exact one. There's a GS200 or something like that if you look up their modern ones, but it's got an extra knob on it which I don't think came. This is a wee bit older. The serial number of this starts J09, so I'll be thinking it's 2009 this is made. And it's been happening a bit more recently. I keep getting guitars based in. I can't do anything with it apart from just, you know, tune it up and set it up. It's just too nice to be messed about with. It doesn't want stuff stuck on it and all that. This is absolutely mint. I don't think it's ever been played at all. It looks absolutely spanking new. There's not a mark on it apart from fingerprints. So we've got a, what does that say on it? It might be, it's a patent number. It's got an Ibanez bridge. It's just got a patent number on it. So it's got kind of like a, this lead's not long enough to get up closer. Bridge is a little bit beefier than your usual affair. Kind of nice rounded saddles on it. Jazz bass pickup, P bass pickup, volume for these two, and then a master tone control. It's got like a rounded bit here for the, doesn't have a neck plate. It's got a bolt on neck, but it's kind of like the recessed things. It's pretty light, good tuners, straight string pull going over the nut. Everything's pretty new. Actually, what I did like, I noticed because I did adjust it. See the, you use a pick. This is pretty cool. See you don't have to take off the truss rod cover to get at it. It just sort of slides open like that, so you can get in at the truss rod. You can just clip it closed without having to unscrew the 3 screws, which isn't. It's a cheesy thing. It doesn't really make that much difference. Even comes with its own Ibanez strap, and it's got its Ibanez gig bag as well, which is still downstairs. Which for a change, I'm actually going to throw in with this one, seeing as it is Ibanez. I normally just keep bags and straps for myself. Yeah. So as usual, I'm expecting the camera to fart, so I've got the volume down really pretty low. So this is the P bass pickup. Tone off it. Jazz bass pickup. Try not to stand in front of the amp. One of the problems about playing with the amp really low is you can kind of hear the strings hitting off the fretboard, but that's just because I've got the amp down really low. The thing with this is, I would just say it's basically brand new. Okay, it's 2009, so it's 9 years old, but it's not. It's brand spanking. So my review of this would say it's better than the equivalent, like your base model Squires, pretty much definitely. It's just cheaper, well, not just because it doesn't look like a P bass, but you know, if it looked like a P bass or a jazz bass, it'd be an awful lot more popular. This is a kind of one of those, kind of like they've got a Stag fretless bass for sale, just the same sort of idea. It's just kind of like, it's just, I don't really know how would you describe it. It's just a meh shape, jet black. But technically it's brilliant. And if you mix between the two pickups, you get sort of the nice tones in the middle. So important stuff. It's got a scarf joint. That's not really important, but it's got a scarf neck joint. No, that's what you can see. It's got like a angled back headstock, a sort of satin finished neck. I'd imagine that's a rosewood fretboard, which you're not going to get for very much longer. In fact, the new one, which I just looked up on the Ibanez website, looks exactly the same, but it's got a I can't remember, was it roasted pine or stained pine fretboard, because obviously this CITES thing, rosewood's now an endangered species. This one I think is still rosewood, because this was 8 years ago. There was no CITES thing for rosewood. What to say other than it's pretty much, I keep saying it's brand spanking new. Okay, it's 8 years old, but I think it was bought and kept in its case. Even the strap, when I put it on, it was either owned by a midget or then, because the strap was fully up, so when I put the strap on, it was like that, you know, when you got it adjusted when you get it out of the packet. As I said, the newer one in the catalogue has an extra knob on it. It's 34-inch scale, because I thought there was another one, a GIO Micro, and I was looking at it going, it was 28.5-inch scale, and I was looking at it going, it's definitely a full scale bass. Balances really well, these are things that are useful if you're ever playing it live, and it's really light and really, really comfortable. I gotta say, it's maybe just not that interesting to look at. But I built a Flying V bass a couple of weeks ago, and I've been playing it, and it's really awkward, and yeah, it's about this size, and it's like it hangs way down here, but it's just so much cooler being a Flying V than being like this. But this is far too good for me to make another body for. It's just absolutely rock solid, which I suppose is what you want from a bass, if that's what you want from a bass. Yeah, sustain's not bad, eh? I didn't even hit it that hard. Still going. It's still going, but it's got a bit quieter now. It's kind of going now. Yeah. It plays perfectly all the way up the neck. The action's nice and low. Neck's straight, perfect relief on it. It was quite easy to adjust. Even though it was 8 years old, any bass especially, or any guitar that's 8 years old is going to need the neck adjusted, because over time this piece of wood was straight when it came out the factory. So when they first put strings on it, it played perfectly, and then over the next 8 years these strings are just going to pull the neck just slightly up the way like this. So you need to adjust the tension to pull it back, and I think that's the same for any bass. It doesn't matter whether it's the most expensive one or the cheapest one. Possibly not if it's one of these aluminium neck ones or something like that, but I mean any normal bass. And as usual with Ibanez, I mean, this is a GIO one, but I mean I've had a few Ibanez or modern Ibanez, and they really are pretty much faultless, apart from they're maybe not the most exciting to look at guitars and basses. I mean I've had a few, like the modern RGs, even the GIO ones as well, they're like, you can't fault them, apart from being maybe slightly uninteresting to look at. So if you're a beginner, this is totally fine. If you're a pro, this would be doable as well. I personally don't really need the jazz bass pickup, but it is there for if you're going to try and do. That you can count as slapping, as popping. Right, so I'll stop videoing now. This is good. I'll turn this off so yeah, closer view. That lead was just not quite long enough to be. So as I said, the bridge is pretty cool. See how it's kind of got like sort of mad nicer saddles than you would normally get in a bass. As you can see looking at it, apart from the occasional fingerprints where I've been touching it, it's absolutely immaculate. And it's got the good style tuners on it, and also things like, see the way the strings go straight over the nut, you know, because the shapes like this, that just means that you don't get friction problems. Whereas if you've got, it happens, I'm actually having problems with a Gibson Les Paul neck just now. I built a guitar called I call that a shocking bird. It's like a telly with a Les Paul neck, and see, because of the break angle, the string comes up here, and because the Gibson headstock shape's kind of like this, string, instead of going straight up to the pickup, the tuner, it goes up like this. Ugh. So it kind of goes up to the nut and then goes off at a mad angle like that, which just causes it to stick. Whenever you bend a note, there's problems. So the way I'm trying to get around that is I bought a brass nut for it to put on that. Hopefully that will maybe make it a bit more smoother. But really, in all sensibleness, I know the Gibson headstock does look good, okay, but yeah, as a total compromise, you really want the tuners, you really want these strings to be going over that straight, which they very nearly are. Yeah, so Ibanez GIO, I think I decided it was a GSR 200. Maybe. If you've got an old, in fact, I might have an old Ibanez catalogue. I wonder if it's in it. I might give the exact model number. Or they still make it and it's got an extra knob on it for something called a FAT, P-H-A-T EQ, which I don't know whether it's some sort of filter or might have a battery in it. This one isn't, they're both passive pickups. Yeah, rock and roll. Good bass. See you later. I might have an amp for it as well. It came with an Ibanez 15 watt bass amp, which seems to work quite well as well. I'm not really sure what to do with that. It's kind of an awkward one to do with small amps because they're not really worth very much money, I don't think. And when you start putting them on eBay and stuff, they get, you start putting postage on it. It starts being £15 postage, and if you're only paying £30 for the amp, it's like quite a lot of that is postage. So I might try and plump it on the Facebook page as well and see if anyone goes with it. Sell a beginner's pack, strap. This is coming with a strap, gig bag, a lead, and everyone needs to get started on the bass. Rock and roll!